Well, guys, PlayStation just announced that they're working on PSVR 2. And, well, we're big fans of VR and the PlayStation VR headset itself, but it's definitely lacking when it comes to the competitive edge with Oculus and Vive. So what do we want from PlayStation VR 2? How do we get things started? Nate, you went on with PlayStation VR lately. That's kind of something I've been dabbling in for a long time now. Everything from Moss to Blood and Truth and the latest Dreams of all things, believe it or not. And Corey, you've got the Vive. You're rocking the Vive headset over there, and we got a game coming up this week for the show itself. But what do we want moving forward with PlayStation VR 2? For me, two things. Better graphics, better fidelity within the system, and the controllers need to be completely changed because I've been using these Move controllers since the PS3 days. Nate, what are you looking for?
Well, my experiences with the Oculus and the PSVR, and I must say, the one thing I could not get was just full eye coverage on the PSVR. And it's not that it was uncomfortable or anything, it was close, but just, I don't know, maybe it's I have a weird shaved face, but at any rate, I just could not get underneath my eyes fully covered. Didn't matter how I adjusted it. But then the Oculus, it really does morph to your head. And granted, I haven't even, that was a Oculus from a couple generations ago, so I imagine it's even better now. But that is my main thing, because in VR you're so enclosed in the game, and it's just having that little bit of light coming from the outside world just kind of took away from it. But that being said, I mean, like you said, dude, the controllers, that's a dated thing, man. I remember playing the PS3 with my friends' Move controllers, and they were kind of lousy then, so.
Oh, that's funny, man. I'm going to keep it with controllers because I don't have a ton of PSVR experience, but I do have the Cosmos Elite, and their controllers, they're good. They're big in your hands. But what the problem is I notice a lot of the newer generation VR stuff is it's analog joysticks. And I think especially as VR starts to develop, moving in VR is starting to develop as well, right? Where joysticks are starting to become more of a regular occurrence, I think. Because there's some games I definitely play with these controllers and they kind of don't really work as intuitively as I maybe would like. Sure. So, looking towards what PlayStation's going to do for their second iteration of VR, I think they definitely should look at, updating their controllers that are from PlayStation 3 era, right? Like we need, something along, the Quest line, something like that. We just need something a little more compact, fits in your hand a little bit better, and it just kind of gives you a little more for the overall VR experience. I could definitely agree with Nate. Headset fit, I think in any VR setup is definitely the biggest issue because you really need it to be sitting on your face just that perfect way to get that image looking exactly how, you want it to look, especially because it's right in your face, so it needs to be as clear as possible because if it's just even a little bit blurry, it really cuts down on the amount of playtime you can really have that headset on for. Mm-hmm. So I'd really like to see PlayStation just kind of bring it up to where, the current VR stuff is at, right? I mean, they need to be competitive in the market. They have a great console now that can support, a better VR system. So I don't see why they can't just improve in the system just overall, right? Better controllers, better headset fit. Keep doing what they're doing, but just make it a little bit better.
Oh, that's fair.
And something I kind of want to add is affordability, man. That's another one too. Is VR, it's that disconnects there, I think, for at least like 30% of gamers because it's not that affordable to get an Oculus. You need the PC, you need this. At least with PlayStation, right? You needed to just buy the headset with your console, but still, if they could somehow knock the price just to bring more gamers in, I think that we'll get more games in general, and just I don't know. That's what I'm really hoping. I mean, who doesn't hope things are cheaper, but
a little bit cheaper. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you.
No, for sure.
But I think that's a big one that VR in general is kind of struggling with.
Absolutely, because if you get something that what Corey has, like the Cosmos Elite, you need a PC that can power that thing, right? And that's the advantage when going to PlayStation. But PlayStation said when they first launched PSVR, they considered that to be like the PS1. And then it was a stepping stone for them to take all the feedback from the fans, from the developers, and what can they do to move forward. And that's what Shuhei Yoshida said is when they first launched it, this is like PS1 days for VR, for PlayStation in a sense. And now moving forward, you already hear what they're talking about when they're making it simplified. one cord. Right now, you hook up your PSVR.
Oh,
dude,
man.
there's like a dozen cords kicking around, and you gotta plug in here and there and this way and that way, and then you plug in your headset into a box. I'm like, what is going on here? I got the Oculus Quest 2. I got no wires at all happening now at this point.
Yeah.
Right? So there's definitely some simplification going on when it comes to the next gen of PSVR, which is fantastic. They said one cord. Thank you. One HDMI, one USB. I don't know. They haven't really gone into too many details. That's the worst part about right now is they more or less said, yeah, we're working on it. And then went silent, right? So that's kind
That's
of
what we were hoping for that already.
And it's COVID, so that doesn't help anything, get
yeah, exactly.
rushed.
But they also just launched PlayStation 5. So they don't want to go, here's a PS5 and now buy the VR headset because you're getting back into the world of the Cosmos where you have to have a high-end PC to go along with your PS or your VR system. So PlayStation doesn't want two of their biggest heavy hitters competing with each other. Let the one sell. And you can't even find a PlayStation 5 right now for any means anyways.
Trying still.
Right, exactly. So if they can get that out into the wild and then launch that, they just announced today 6 games coming to the old PlayStation VR headset, which look fantastic. So moving forward, we should be able to carry those games over and keep rolling and then get even better graphic fidelity with the system because that was when you play PlayStation VR, it feels like you're playing 720. And that's a struggle, especially now when Cosmos Elite's here. The Oculus Quest 2 is here. Everything's so fine and so crisp.
The image
and
is
beautiful.
so sharp.
Right? So when you
Give
put
me that
on
4K PSVR, baby.
exactly. So when you go back to the old PlayStation VR headset, it's just like, whoa. Like, man, remember the days of watching YouTube in 720? That's just not a thing anymore. So definitely some things are coming. It sounds exciting. The world of VR, if you haven't tried it, it's a definite must try. It's just a cool experience. It's a different experience than regular flat screen gaming. There's nothing like it, to be honest. There's nothing like VR. It's just so cool. Are you guys interested in VR PlayStation 2? Let us know. InsideTheGame.ca.